encompass the moment of emptiness in which all potentialities exist. While planting seeds in the season of Aquarius, we're kind of being invited to do just that. Plant a seed of hope that's rooted in our authenticity and our truth, our magic. It's here where we have this moment of clarity to clarify what is wanting to rise within us, our sacral chalice, and through the year as we move forwards. So besides having Lilith opposing this new moon, we also have Pluto in the mix, breaking down the old as there is this expansion of the new into the new, innovating the new to manifest and take form on the earth plane, the new earth. So we're being invited to witness the box that's been keeping us confined as we get ready to open this door, walking through it. See what's on the other side. I always say that there's magic on the other side of the breakdown to get us to this break on through.
Inshallah and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. It's a fantastic Friday. That's my new word. Why? Because I said so. Beyond doing great. So while we're waiting for people to hop on to the live stream, to the show, tune into the replay, really taking a breath and a pause. I feel like that really helps us sink into our skin. So we're in this transitional earth, and why am I so excited? That means we're on our way to spring. Thank the gods and the goddesses, all of them. And we've got a new moon to kick it off, the love vibration synchronicity, the meditation, the cosmic insights. Those are on the channel as well. And yesterday, did you write yourself or create a certificate for all of the achievements, like giving yourself your own personal diploma? You've made it through the year of 2022. And before, I should say, just seeing where we've actually raised the bar and excelled in our personal medicine, the star that we are. So 'tis the season. It's the Aqua season, the Aquarius season, the season of self-discovery, a knowing of discovering our belonging within our inner self, within our daily life, and out into our future life. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, freelancers. I see you. YouTube even. That's great. But all of this, it's the 11th house in astrology. It's highlighting our friends, our groups, the initiative, community, the world, all these things that are going to be impacting the world and the events, along with, of course, how it all relates to us in our day-to-day life. So you may find that what your heart is manifesting is you're going to authentically, organically, it's going to attract to you. It's courtesy of yours truly, Uranus, the law of attraction. So this energy of belonging is really calling it in, manifesting. So it could bring in the unexpected, out of the blue, those aha moments where we experience usually a breakdown, which then leads us to the breakthrough, the magic on the other side. An otherworldly, usually higher vibration or a different way of seeing things. That's on the outcome through all of the season that goes on happening in those thread lines through the Aquarius season. So on the menu for today, we're focusing on looking inward to our own personal boundaries we have within ourselves. So you may need more time, longer space, a safe space to allow your heart to choreograph your vibration, Uranus, to really determine what boundaries, energetic or otherwise, that we belong within ourselves, protecting ourselves as we begin to elevate ourselves. Literally, you might feel yourself vibrating, actually. So with that, welcome to the Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host, and if you are new to my show, I'm a practicing holistic shaman, a medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. It's a choreographing of all of this and really quite more, but we tend to be into labels. I don't know. But my intention is to really utilize the indigenous technologies, the originals, the origins of our essence, the elemental realms, and our original divine blueprint to navigate our soul's harmonic, our personal seed sound choreography through these realms, whether it's elemental, imaginal, into and through the shaman's portal, the 8th energetic center, the cosmos, and the subtle realms, and really so much more, just merging all of this together with offerings, prescriptions, and rituals. Rituals for prescriptions, by the way. Usually the otherworldly kind to really add to the main stage ingredients, the sauce of the juice of you, your personal container. Really, it's your personal medicine, our prime directive, what we came into the earth realm to do, maybe assisting and discovering your inner genius, navigating that personal medicine. The star ultimately that I believe we all are on our own spiritual walk of fame. maybe reintroducing you to the magical being that I believe resides within each and every one of us so that our frequency vibration light shines brighter. My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And of course, if you've yet to subscribe to my channels, please do, YouTube or otherwise. YouTube, where you're watching me now, Tonya D, and my Musing with Tonya D podcast, super amazing. I just want to say that the season of the witches has been a great kickoff. Had some awesome guests. I have another one later today in a little bit here. But we are in this vibration, this elevation, kind of a eccentric innovation, if you will. It's like scrubbing our auric field with a duster, an energetic duster, really. It's the energy of the magic that we all are. It's our unique divine blueprint, thumbprint. It's the I am presence. It's unique and individual to each and every one of us. It's our own special secret sauce that we all have. Our divine magic, it's all unique to you, as mine is as unique to me. If you're not sure what I'm even talking about or how this correlates or choreographs itself, Change Your Stars is one of my online offerings. And I would say Secrets of the Other World would be an awesome one too. I cover this and so much more. You kind of have to read into those little portals, see what I'm offering there to see which one resonates with you. But I'd also love to give a shout out to the new peeps entering the village, the community on my online venue here. A validation, a voice of acknowledgement, I think is always something to, what's the word? Invoke to our new friends and our new guests just arriving to the show, new subscribers. And also, of course, those that have been part of my journey since the beginning. I really started this hitting it hard over a year ago. It takes a tribe, it takes a village. So gratitude and blessings to you and for you as well. Along with those that do tune into the replay later, I do see you. And if you don't mind hitting the bell button so you're notified, along with the white rabbit. That's what I call the white button, the white rabbit. And remember a comment if you feel you're in need of a message. I hear you. And sharing just another way of paying it forward. It's a blessing of gratitude. Sending it out there, it gets returned. So you can also find me, of course, on other social channels, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. But do remember, I am your otherworldly shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer. Sometimes we have energetic hiccups, and we do need an otherworldly life coach assistant, myself included, by the way, to get us out of our own magical way. Sometimes we got to get dusted off. The daily snippet, what is this all about? It's cosmic insights. It's the planets. It's the cosmic realm, the elemental realm, through the 4 pillars, the subtle energies, which is the chakras and the energy centers and the meridians, the channels, the pathways, even the auric field. We're all a part of this cosmic soup. And along with a message for a day and the season of Aquarius, like, did you feel lighter literally when you woke up this morning? Maybe more jovial, more energetic, more vibrational, fine-tuned in a way, optimistic, innovated, maybe a little eccentric. There's lots of mystical magic that's happening for us. We're aware, and being that we've just entered, we're in the first day of the season of Aquarius, the day before a new moon even. So we have this energy of Capricorn still on the menu. It's about structuring and planning and putting things together, choreographing it. Our ego and our mind and the South Node in the season of Scorpio, the season of the void, what we protect, the all and the nothingness. So things are discerning. So we're kind of in the topsy-turvettes, part of the Fae, even though we're done with Capricorn. But those threads of that Capricorn, the threads of Capricorn, we're still musing about what that the season of Capricorn taught us, to put structures in place, to move resources into place where they're available into our future life as we are moving into the now. So the structure of our mind and our emotions to put some planning out into the future, but thinking as well, and also more planning for that. We're kind of still kind of nipping and tucking, reorganizing. So the movement is actually moving into the future. And Jupiter, which is also a bounty for myself for other reasons, but it's moving to the harmonic of vibration, luck, fortune, and opportunity as well. So there's some really great stuff there. It's a benefit. And being so, it's part of the future where our being, our essence, where we belong, knowing we're going to get there, we're going to be there as we enter a future phase into the future. But we do need to set boundaries and protect whatever that is. Sometimes people will steal our ideas or rip the rug out from under us. But we also have what we're going to open up and accept to moving to a master phase as well. So she's in a place that it's about taking our worth, our value, our ability to respect ourselves out into the galactic future. So we need to take that value, how we value ourselves, and it doesn't take money to value ourselves, but taking that frequency energy out into the future. But often there's a hard break and a hard stop on how we react to the awareness. It literally is the rug getting ripped out from underneath our feet. So we're kind of making a course correction. And the end, of course, in the course correction, that's our emotions. Our emotions may need to take a course correction, but we are in a future orientated sign looking out into the future. So often our boundaries are, usually I find they're energetic boundaries, just keeping people out energetically. But also there's physical boundaries, the boundaries that are ours. These are the ones that we need to place upon our own selves, skipping stones, if you will. So we can all often be our worst enemy or our worst nightmare. I think we need to friend ourselves and friend ourselves more often. And often we do forget how to advocate, be a voice for ourselves. So sometimes we have to put our own boundaries in a place, our own boundaries, creating boundaries that are really going to make it harder for us to fail in the future, of not getting things completed that we really want in our future, that we've been looking forward to, and making our future harder for ourselves. So we need to be more proactive, optimistic, very proactive about taking this energy into our own hands and really owning it. So part of this energy is still part of that energy of Capricorn, about planning and organizing and structuring and really having things in place. It's like cleaning your house and you reorganize where you put things. Protecting whatever that is from the world, protecting it into the future. So the planets are protecting us from where the future is taking us into the future of this year, protecting ourselves, sometimes from ourselves, and installing boundaries for our own selves, for our own sakes, kind of being tangible tasks, be specific, be clear, protecting ourselves from ourselves. We do choreograph this sometimes in our own minds. So it's like, what are we going to do? The most loving thing to do today is to protect ourselves from the stress of our future. That's where the pause point comes in, that I always talk about, taking a breath and a pause. So the harmonics that we put on our heart check calendar, checking into our soul's harmonics, our heart space, we don't get this if we don't do that kind of a thing. It's like parenting our inner child within us, not always putting us in a corner. So we're protecting ourselves out into the future of 2023 and beyond that horizon, just making sure that what we have planned, that we have protected it, put protection in place, daily protections. That's really important today, the inner and the outer, for how the future is going to be playing out for 2023. And with that, sorry, I thought my phone was going up. Oh, I moved that over here. Sorry. I'm all over the place. I love it. A little topsy-turvy. Okay, so our options, I went with skipping stones, the ripples of water, the water drop, waves and frequency vibration, and a cool frozen snowflake, which also carries energy vibration. But it's in solid form, so different forms of water, skipping stones, a drop of water, frozen water, really all these hidden messages in water. There's so many. We've got options. So with that, a few announcements, of course. Like I said, we've entered into the interseason of Earth, the season between the seasons, which you might be feeling because we're in a few days. A new podcast is out, Reclaiming Your Inner Sorceress, with Sasha Lipskaia. It really goes with the season of the witches, I must say. And we do have a new moon arriving tomorrow. New intentions, beginnings, offerings to the beings of the other world. That's kind of what I do. A new frequency, energy, vibration, just elevating really uniquely the star that we are. And then we move right into the Chinese New Year, the Yin Water Rabbit. And also Tuesday is the kickoff of the Rising of the Origins. Register to start or engage that portal. And I'm including the Chinese yin water rabbit. That's also going to be a part of the immersion to take it up a notch. So really register today because the space is limited for the live show. And of course, I do have the Shamanic Healing Academy. This is for mystics, mages, intuitives, medicine peoples, the village. And we do need an off-grid nomadic village, and I'm actually adding some more brew to the Shamanic Healing Academy, some guest artists, if you will, people to be a part of it as well, some light language transmissions so far, and some coding, some signature coding of our energetic centers. So I'm excited about that. And the Elemental Highway. This really does give insight into the elemental foundations of our day, the 4 pillars that we come into, a daily 4 pillars. When we arrived on planet Earth from the heavenly realm, it's a great tool that we all can utilize for ourselves, for others, to really map out our personal elemental choreography. It's an amazing tool to assist you or guide you if you're really called into the realm, the world of being an energy healer, energy medicine practitioners, artists. That's what I see it as, an artist of energy healing. And also offering the evening of elemental energy. I incorporate light, sound, and vibration through the skin. I might add different acupuncture points on the skin with energy and essential oils and so much more to really add to the body, healing the body. It's a healing venue of the spirit of the elements, just adding energy medicine to your practice through the realm of the elementals, which I use the skin as my choreography for that. And the body, it really is feng shui for the body. Reading the language of the body through the elemental realms and just choreographing an entire offering around just the elementals. But today on the Elemental Highway, I'm sorry, I forgot I put it over here. I should move it. We have a young earth tiger of a day, 2 pouncing tigers, which is great. In a field, in a meadow, the ox is a meadow. That's awesome. But big earth, the mountainous earth, we go to the mountains. We tell the mountain our secrets, our stories, our concerns. We have a conversation with the mountain. The mountain is stable. It's strong. It doesn't come to us. We go to the mountain. That's these kinds of people. Great therapists, I would say, therapists, coaches. But we do have a forest, the tiger, the big trees, soil, flowing or frozen water, big water, skipping stones, right? And we only have one little splash of yin metal in storage in the ox. And we do have more big earth hidden in the tigers. And the sun is really hidden behind the clouds, if you will. It's the warmth of the sun. It comes out when the clouds move, which I often see clouds as part of the metal or mineral plan of the sky, elements within elementals doing a dance. But the tigers are vitality energy. The earth is lymphatic circulation. And we do have water circulation. So we do need the heart and red blood circulation, oxygenation today. So taking that vitality, the tiger's energy, and being able to run with it, cardiovascular. Our day needs fire. Our earth needs fire to produce as a resource. So that's the cardiovascular aspect of it. And also the oxygenation, which is venous, blue blood circulation, for forging the big metal, if you will, to cleanse, doing the cleansing breaths, which really activate and help the skin kind of sparkle and vibrate. So metal and fire really to bridge the energy of our day. Stones to create a boundary around the fire. That's kind of in the physical. You could do something like that. Crystals, whatever grid thing you do, crystals around a fire, a candle. So I'm all about options, apparently. And the messages of the day, I'll give you your options again to muse about. Skipping stones, a drop in water, rippling out, because we're all energy vibrations. See yourself as a drop of water. And the frozen snowflakes, which has got its own frequency vibration in it as well. But the messages of the day, I'm bringing in the Fae. We need to honor these shifting energies of innovating our future, planning our future delights, if you will. So first up, if you chose, I'm going to go with the skipping of the stone. Sorry, I forget everything's over here. The skipping of the stone. So if you chose the skipping of the stone, we have Gluminous Doom. He's part of the fairy challengers. These are the ones that always bring us face to face with our fears, denials, inner traumas, insecurities, delusion, confusion. Even the things we do when we are misbehaving, not obeying, which I never do, but they test us, they challenge us, and they often bring these challenges only if they feel that we really have the potential of passing them. So what does that even mean? What does that even look like? So these are not mere tests. They're more of initiations. Some of them are minor, some of them are major. But Glominous Doom, the 56, this is opening up to accept or receiving a new thought, a new attitude, being optimistic, and being in or in aligning within integrity, loving ourselves from the inside to the outside with our thoughts, our choreographing of our thoughts and receiving our throat center activating and our solar plexus kind of doing that kind of a merge, doing this loving stuff from the inside to the outside and from the outside in, from the outside to the inside kind of a thing. But Glominous Doom, he's all about self-defeat, self-pity, self-destruction, but also about taking care of ourselves. So self-pity is kind of the first step on the slippery, seductive slide towards self-destruction. A lot of that is similar to the soul shrinker, but it applies to Glominous Doom. So the soul shrinker is cruelty, malice, gossip, curses, distractions, but also blessings on the other side of the chaos. But he's a Bodhisattva, a spiritual being devoted to helping to bring about the enlightenment of it all. That's the type of job that requires a lot of compassion, understanding, forgiveness, and that is the soul shrinker. So it's kind of odd to have like a lightweight energy challenger, one like Glominous Doom right next to the soul shrinker, but they're the closest of cousins. So the soul shrinker observes the way we curse others through energy and attitude, where Glominous Doom observes the way we actually curse ourselves. In a way, the part of ourselves that he witnesses is worse than what the soul shrinker actually sees, the two opposing forces. So when we curse others through sending the energy of malice or ill will towards them, it can be rejected. They can reject our sendings. However, when we curse ourselves through self-pity and self-destructive attitudes, mindsets, there is little, if any, resistance. Then the curse takes immediate effect and continues to act until we change our attitudes. We change our stars. So it's interesting, isn't it? It's kind of a weird choreography, how we can see at once that the soul shrinker is usually kind of this ugly energy, but Glominous Doom kind of has this charm, a weird kind of attractive weirdness. We can almost kind of feel sorry for him. He kind of looks a little pitiful, but there's another side to him as well, one that sees possibly feeling that glominous energy is underrated, but he's a helper. He can be there for us when nobody else wants to know. This is our inner choreography. So being in the state of self-pity when everything around us seems terrible and the whole world feels as if it's against us, it's really an important part of this process that we get, we all get down sometimes. That's part of life. You could even say that we need it to compare when we do feel good and gooder. But Glominous Doom is really ready. He's willing to assist us to explore just how awful it all feels, just how bad it all is and how hard it is by what we feel. What has made us feel like this in the first place? So that's very important to really get to know these feelings or how we can possibly allow them to go. And if we don't properly know them in the first place, how can we let them go? But our feelings need to be fully acknowledged. They need to be understood. And often we just tuck them away. We hide them from sight until they appear again, maybe in a different guise with a different face usually. But Glominous Doom, he really helps us to properly explore those gloomy feelings that make us feel doom, doubtful, so that we can be done with them. And this is a very important job. It's the ultimate test here, of course, is to take our own responsibility for ourselves and our attitudes and to choose a path that is life-affirming, not life-denying or negating. The sorrier we feel for ourselves, the worse life becomes. Let me say that again. The sorrier we feel for ourselves, the worse our life becomes. It's not the other way around. So self-pity makes things worse. So we always have a choice, right? One we have in every moment as to whether we want to make our lives better or to make our lives worse. And only we can choose that for our own selves. Being in integrity, being otherworldly, this is a message that somebody has really sunk into the pit of self-pity. Maybe they're having a delirious effect on them, on the situation. And I hate to say it, but there is very little anyone, but that person can ultimately do for themselves is really to change their attitude. But it's important to remember that trying to push somebody into a different attitude really usually just encourages them to resist us and make things worse in all those. So, taking this back to like the soul shrinker, taking that into account and making our own plans and decisions and to get on with doing the best we can with our own lives. It's really up to the other person to really sort out their own attitude. That's why holding an attitude of gratitude in all the things really helps us with that octave. But one way that we can deal with excessive self-pity within ourselves is by meeting our own needs, desires, and comforting ourselves. Sometimes having our own pity party when we're feeling down, giving ourselves permission to enjoy the feeling to the nth degree, possibly even wallowing in it, getting all the junk food that we can think of. Mine would be popcorn, rent movies, Netflix binging, get out a blanket and chill out, be sad. And then pretty soon we can't even remember why we were down in the first place. But knowing that we sure had a great time binge watching a bunch of movies, eating a bowl or 10 of popcorn while it lasted. So my mantra for the season of January is I expect miracles and I expect more of them. Following Luminous Doom, oh, I got over here, sorry. If you chose the drop in the water, we've got another fairy challenger following right behind. This is Glansamere. Glansamere, say that one twice. I want to say like a necromancer, but it's Glansamere. This is illusion, delusion, lust, projection, but it's also clever sight. And the 62, another 6, which is peace. It's Libra. It's our throat center. The 2 is our feelings, feeling what we open up to, feeling what we receive, and planning on that, creating a structure around it, feeling and opening to a better way of being. Have you ever noticed that when we really, 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 really want someone or something, we tend to see it without clarity, without clear sight? And the object of our lust usually looks flawless, it's glamorous, which should really tell us something right away. But usually it doesn't. It's the shiny penny. And the Glansaner often says his name is kind of like a smooth talker, smooth hair. And that may be a little bit of an illusion of his own choreography, unlike the Pook, bringing in extra characters today. But the Glansaner doesn't change his shape to tempt us with our own mental confusion or those paradoxes. He simply wears a mirror in which we see our desires temptingly displayed out before us. So he doesn't try to fool us. He simply allows us to fool ourselves. Well, he may try just a little to make the test a little more difficult, the confusion. After all, we can be more proud of passing a difficult test than an easy one, right? That's usually what happens. See how far we've come. Just saying, that's an idea. But Smooth Harry, the Glansaner, also appeals to our vanity, and the more we have of it, the easier his work is. A little flattery, we're going to believe whatever he wants us to swallow, especially since it is just what we really want to swallow anyway, right? So of all of the fairy challengers, Smooth Harry is most likely to be the most slyest. So he practices a sort of emotional judo-jitsu where he lets our own desires lead us into a fall as we're rushing headlong towards our vision of perfection. All he needs to do is step aside and we cast ourselves out him and then down we go. Not a lot of fun, but maybe, perhaps, even, possibly, we might just learn something from that. So he is also otherworldly, so that tells us a different story. This is about somebody pretending to be something other than they authentically really are. They may even believe, or at least want to believe, their own deceit, but probably not. It's kind of a pretense, maybe, because they really want to please others because they lack the moral code or the strength to present themselves and their ideas honestly, or maybe simply they hope to gain an advantage by fooling others. Sometimes people do fool themselves into thinking that they're better than other beings. That happens. And it is also, all right for them to deceive. They're only deceiving themselves. And even though this is kind of a valid logic, invalid, it's not uncommon. So vanity can be involved here, especially vanity based on something we know deep down to be untrue. False words like unmeant apologies might arise, or we may claim that something means little to us when in fact it means a huge galactic great deal. Even other people involved in the situations, maybe they need to wake up. Maybe they need to notice what's really happening instead of allowing themselves to be fooled. The situation needs to be handled with care, compassion, I guess, unless the awakening will have an explosive kind of destructive effect, rippling out. So if the pretender is you, the querent, it's a message of urgency to begin to be present, to be authentic with yourself, your true ideas, before things get really worse, as they certainly magically will. So with this ensuing kind of crisis, this urgency being even more devastating, this is really time to call in the character honesty, also one of the other fairies, for aid. Sometimes just being honest with ourselves, boundaries in our inner world of knowing where we heartfelt belong or what we belong protecting, which is really ultimately ourselves, choreographing that. So as we finish up on the cards anyway, if you chose the snowflake, which is cool, this is Meek the Myomancer, which say these 5 times, right? The Myomancer. So this is help has arrived after 2 fairy challengers, Otherworldly, but these are the wee ones, the ones who assist us when we have these energetic hiccups of confusion, maybe adding a little dash of it into our day-to-day lives on the menu as an ingredient. Mostly they do this in an effort to be helpful, but they're the elemental phase, all of the elements of this world and not of this world, into the imaginal realms as well. But the 42, this is feeling into what we are law of attracting. The 4 is the Aquarian energy, and we've just begun to stabilize it. And once we feel into it, we attract the vibration of it. We then receive that attraction with the feelings that we put into it. So again, I expect miracles. Not sure what that looks like myself, but I have experienced little hiccups of them. But Meek, he's about the small clues, the details, the messages that are everywhere, but it's also patience. So the gift of the Myomancers, reading the past, the present, and the potential of all beings in the movements for him of mice in particular. He's really fond of reading the movements of field mice. He feels that they are much livelier, they're curious, they're active, they're much better fed than your average church mouse. So he can learn the same things by reading leaves, as can we, the patterns made when they fall. I thought about that this morning. Or any other billions of things out there. Or, any other billions of things, sticks and stones, right? But he prefers field mice. That's his specialty, is mice. I find that kind of curious in myself. I don't know. Can you see a mouse in the card? I might have to observe that. But this is learning just endless things about the mice when they're twitching their whiskers, how they hold their tails. He sees the hidden information in the patterns of the growth, the coloration of their fur, the way the wind moves or moves their fur, how they clean themselves. It really does remind me of cats in a way, cats and mice, watching a cat's tail flick. Lily's not on the stage today, but little things often can tell us a lot. Everything has a message about the universe around us. So studying the details sometimes enables us to decide the whole, the entirety. So the entire universe to me is one piece. And each fragment of that one piece, unity, the oneness, reflects and is connected to all of the others, even us. The famous philosopher Anonymous actually once said, the lifting of a finger disturbs the farthest star. It's a rippling effect. It's a cause and an effect. But Meek says it also works the other way around as well. So he's advising us to make a slow, observant study of all the little things, and there are even smaller details in the world around us, the sands of time, I guess. He says that this kind of study not only helps us to enhance our understanding of life, the oneness, unity, and everything, but it also helps to develop a joyful patience, a deeper philosophy, if you will. So it's a message, really, that it's time to pay attention to the details, the finite, the little things. It's a very important time at this time, being in the present. Little things are not only important within themselves, but they also give us important information about the bigger things, the larger things, the grand scheme of things. Looking for the inner hidden meanings in ordinary objects or happenings or experiences. Journaling, right? Life is trying to teach us something by speaking to us gently. So with luck and application, paying attention, we're going to get the message before it really abruptly speaks out loudly. The energetic hiccups there. But body language in humans as well as in mice and cats and all the things may give us very useful information at the moment, in the present, like right now, especially if we're ready to learn it properly, looking for the clues to our answers, the ones we're seeking, and also the things we need to know. They're all around us. We're surrounded by omens and portents and signs, especially if we're aware. But the signs usually aren't written on billboards in big letters unless we're asking for that. They're usually small happenings in our day-to-day world, in our reality. So it's about being awake, being aware. So here's a little hint. If you work out what the question really is, it's much easier to recognize the answers when they come, when they flow to us organically. I mean, the messages may have appeared, luminous doom, the glancener. However, the details are in the little things, those opposing forces. So we have the consciousness of the physical energy that bridges the spiritual world into the physical. The bridge between beauty and wellness, energy and matter, the physical body merging with our subtle energy bodies. It's that vibration beneath our streams of life, all streaming. So these feelings, it could be a feeling of a color, could be the tonality of our own personal seed song that's inside of us. It's individual, it's unique. It's this overall existential vibration of our soul within ourselves. So really taking a breath and a pause, holding your signature seed sound, as you start to examine that vibration, that tone that we all hold within ourselves. So what's the seed sound for you? That is it your tone that you're holding? Oftentimes we start holding the note for another seed sound note, and that will fragment. It could rip the rug out from each and every one of us, out from underneath us, our own magical star. So another way of musing, it's the way we hold the tone within ourselves. And how do we get along with our own selves? Are we self-loathing? Are we self-loving on the inside? Does our consciousness complement ourselves on the inner world? Or is there a conscious kind of conflict, scratching us within ourselves inside of you? So we are toning, like when you check your seed sounds of a guitar to make sure the guitar is tuned, or a harp or a violin, checking the notes, tuning ourselves up a notch and organizing that vibration frequency within ourselves to come into its seed sound harmony, to really add to these ingredients with our own personal menu, if you will, our I am presence. So we are in the stage, moving it into the new moon, to be taking an action to really raise our frequency sounds and our vibrations that are unique and individual to us within our being, our personal codes, our essence. So what does that look like, or even mean? It's like releasing the thoughts, the feelings, the energy. It's kind of like the frequency wave vibrations in our energetic field vibration, and it's filtering down inside of ourselves and outside of ourselves, mostly inside of ourselves for now. So it could also mean it's bringing conflicts up, the energetic hiccups to the stage that we've been carrying possibly within ourselves, vibrating at them, bringing them to the zone of neutrality. That's what we're doing, bringing ourselves to this tone of a neutrality setting, if you will, and using love as the choreographer, compassion, self-love, peace, of course, and integrity, just raising our frequency, vibration, energy to the highest of the highs. It's like energetic ayahuasca, listening to, actually reclaiming your inner sorceress. an energetic ayahuasca trip. So be optimistic as you may seek to turn off or shut off from something or open up to something that really, truly, authentically raises your vibration. It could be as simple as knowing that the last glass of wine really wasn't that great of an idea, or one was enough, and an extra cookie. You know, you thought the first one was amazing, but the 12th one literally loses its flavor. It's like knowing when the boundary. So, really take a breath and a pause as you recognize the magical being that resides within you, the star that you are, examining your personal code of ethics, your boundaries, the ones that may just affect your inner vibration, shift them to elevate your seed note, tune them and attune to them. That's really one of the gifts of the season, is our ability to detach from an outcome, even the power of detachment. So you may notice the balance of the line, balancing the lines of detachment. Are you overly attached to something or highly detached? It's a matter of elevating our inner feelings. How do we feel on the inside to determine the seed note that really raises our inner frequency, vibration, energy? It literally may shift some cells, but just know that you are on a high. You're a high vibrational soul, that ayahuasca, having this human experience. We know we're safe, we're secure, we're kind of in this collective healing to the soul. So today I would actually choose your own affirmation that really elevates your personal seed sound. Tune into the fine attunement for you, detach from things that aren't attuned to you. With that, and it was a lot, register for the Rising of the Origins, the Shamanic Healing Academy. You've got some options there and opportunities. Be soul driven, driving your soul. And with that, I'll see you Monday and also Tuesday for the Rising of the Origins, the kickoff, and maybe inside the Shamanic Healing Academy. I mean, I'm an all or nothing kind of person, energy, feast, the feast of all feasts, if you will. Lots happening. So, Ashe, blessings. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out my show. Appreciate you. Gratitude.
Feeling the vibration in your body, answer, right? Ask, actually reach out and say, I've been trying to tell you this. And learning what it means for you is again, you might be receiving visual information, maybe receiving auditory, it depends, right, on you specifically, but learning the language of your body means learning the language of your soul. And it's also absolutely the most enjoyable thing, right? Because you start tapping into your joy, your pleasure, the pleasure of being yourself. So again, energetic ayahuasca means literally throwing up everything that isn't true. And first you have to see it, right? And then doing the work through, again, embodiment practices. It could be, ecstatic dance, it could be body work and more, right? And meditation, and absolutely mindfulness practices, tapping, people, Reiki. There are so many shamanic practices. I love shamanic work. So journeying, right? Again, dance, breath work. There are so many things you can try.